Have you ever felt like you are walking on a treadmill that keeps moving faster while you stay in the exact same place? It is the beginning of 2026, and for many of us, the world feels more unpredictable than ever before. You have worked hard for 30 years, you have made sacrifices, and you have saved every penny you could. Yet when you look at your retirement account, that feeling of true security still feels like a distant mirage on the horizon. Maybe you are 55 or 60 years old, and you are starting to wonder if you did something wrong. You see news reports about inflation eating away at savings, and you feel a quiet weight in your chest every time you pay your bills. I want you to take a deep breath because I have something very important to tell you. It is not your fault. The reason you feel exhausted is not because you lacked discipline or intelligence. The reason it feels so difficult is because you have been fighting against the laws of mathematical physics. Building wealth is not a straight line, even though that is how we are taught to think about it. In reality, wealth follows a curve that starts so slowly, it feels like nothing is happening at all. Most people quit right before the curve starts to turn upward. And today, I am going to show you exactly why you should keep going. We are going to pull back the curtain on the great transition from working for your money to having your money work for you. You have probably heard that the first $1 million is the hardest, but nobody ever explains the visceral reality of why that is true. When you are starting from zero or even from $100,000, you are the only engine in the car. Every single dollar that goes into your account comes from your sweat, your time, and your energy. If you do not work, the account does not grow. At this stage, your investments might earn a few hundred or a few $1,000s a year, which feels like pocket change compared to the effort you are putting in. It is like trying to push a massive boulder up a steep hill in the middle of a storm. You are doing 99% of the heavy lifting, and the boulder itself provides zero momentum. This is the stage where most people lose faith. They look at their progress after 10 years and think that at this rate, they will never be able to retire comfortably. But mathematics has a secret that only becomes visible once you cross a certain threshold. Let us look at the numbers together, because the truth is found in the calculations, not in the headlines. Imagine you are consistently investing $500 every single month with a standard return of 8%. In those first few years, watching your balance grow is about as exciting as watching paint dry in a cold room. Your monthly contribution of $500 is much larger than the interest the bank is giving you. It takes nearly 25 years of that relentless grind to hit your first milestone of $1 million. 25 years is a lifetime of alarm clocks, stressful meetings, and missed family dinners. It is no wonder that by the time people reach their 50s, they feel a sense of profound fatigue. But here is where the story changes completely. And this is the part that should give you immense hope. Once you reach that first $1 million, the journey to the second million does not take another 25 years. In fact, it takes only about 10 additional years. The same strategy, the same monthly contributions, but the speed of growth more than doubles. Why does this happen? It happens because compound interest is no longer playing with small change. When you have $100,000 and it grows by 8%, you make $8,000. That is nice, but it does not pay the mortgage or allow you to travel the world. However, when you have $1 million and it grows by the same 8%, you make $80,000 in a single year. $80,000 of growth for doing absolutely nothing except staying the course. That $80,000 is more than the median household income for an entire family in the United States. This is the exact moment when your wealth transforms from an exhausting grind into a self-sustaining machine. Suddenly, your money is making more money than you are making at your actual job. You have effectively cloned yourself, creating a silent partner who works 24 hours a day without ever getting tired or asking for a vacation. Think about the legendary Warren Buffett. His story is often told as one of pure genius, but it is actually a story of extreme patience. Did you know that over 99% of his massive fortune was accumulated after his 56th birthday? He became a millionaire at age 30, which is impressive, but he did not become a household name until decades later. He did not suddenly become 10 times smarter when he turned 56. His investment philosophy stayed exactly the same for his entire career. The difference was simply that he finally had enough capital for the laws of compounding to work at a massive scale. By the time he was 56, his money was doing all the heavy lifting, and his personal efforts were just a small fraction of the total growth. For those of you who are 55 or older in 2026, this should be your greatest source of comfort. You are entering the age where the seeds you planted decades ago are finally ready to turn into a forest. You are not late to the game, you are just arriving at the most exciting part of the curve. Now, as we navigate the economic landscape of 2026, the psychology of wealth becomes just as important as the math. When you have limited capital, every market dip feels like a personal attack on your future. You stay awake at night wondering if the stock market will crash and take your dreams with it. But once you cross that first $1 million threshold, your perspective begins to shift from fear to opportunity. You realize that your wealth provides you with something more valuable than luxury cars or big houses. It provides you with freedom of movement. You gain the ability to walk away from a toxic work environment because you know your bills are already covered by your investments. You gain the ability to take calculated risks that could accelerate your wealth even further. At $2 million, a $10,000 investment is only half of 1% of your total net worth. You can afford to be bold when everyone else is being timid. The system is designed to reward those who already have capital, which might feel unfair, but it is a reality we must use to our advantage. Banks who ignored you when you were broke will now compete for your business, offering you rates and terms that save you even more money. The rich get richer not because of a secret society, but because of a mathematical certainty. So, how do we handle the challenges of this year and the years to follow? First, we must distinguish between assets and liabilities. Many people in their 50s make the mistake of buying what I call liabilities disguised as assets. That oversized family home with the massive property taxes or the luxury SUV with the $500 monthly payment. These things do not build wealth, they drain it. In 2026, with the cost of living continuing to rise, these drains become even more dangerous. To reach that second $1 million faster, you must focus on acquiring things that generate income or appreciate in value. Stocks, bonds, real estate, or small business interests. These are the engines that will carry you through retirement. If you are worried that you started too late, remember that you can still use gravity to your advantage. If you can manage to have $500,000 invested by age 50, and you never add another cent, you are still on track for $2 million by the time you retire. In a world of 10% average returns, your money doubles every 7 to 8 years. Your $500,000 becomes $1 million, and that $1 million becomes $2 million, while you are busy living your life. It is like a snowball rolling down a mountain. It starts small and slow, but by the end, It is an unstoppable force of nature. The key is simply to stay in the game long enough to see the result. Most people fail not because their investments were bad, but because they panicked and sold during a temporary downturn. They let emotion override the math. In 2026, the noise from the media will be louder than ever, trying to convince you that the sky is falling. Do not listen to the noise. Listen to the mathematics. The first million is a test of your character and your discipline. It is about proving to yourself that you can delay gratification for a greater purpose. But the second million is a reward for your persistence. It is the point where the universe starts to pay you back for all those years of hard work. As you look toward your future, I want you to focus on the peace of mind that comes from true financial independence. It is not about being able to buy a private jet or a gold watch. It is about being able to wake up every morning and decide exactly how you want to spend your time. It is about being a blessing to your children and grandchildren without ever being a burden to them. It is about the freedom to pursue your faith, your hobbies, and your community without the constant shadow of debt hanging over you. You have the power to change the trajectory of your family's future right now. Start by looking at your accounts not with frustration, but with the knowledge that every dollar is a soldier fighting for your freedom. Stay consistent, stay calm, and let the beauty of compounding do what it was designed to do. 2026 can be the year where you stop pushing the boulder and start watching it roll. If you found this perspective helpful and you want to stay grounded in financial truth during these uncertain times, I invite you to join our community. We focus on the deep principles of wealth that the television networks often ignore. Please consider subscribing to our updates so we can continue this journey toward freedom together. Thank you for your time today, and may you find the security and peace you have worked so hard to achieve. God bless you on your journey to the next milestone.